We're not going to talk about the big, obvious reasons you might be stressed today. No, we're diving into something a little sneakier, a different kind of exhaustion. It's that quiet, modern burnout that just kind of creeps up on all of us.
Does this sound familiar? You get to the end of the day, you flop on the couch, and you are just completely spent. Nothing terrible happened, you didn't run a marathon, but you're so drained you can't even pick a show to watch. Well, it turns out there is a very real, very specific reason for that feeling.
We all get the obvious stressors, right? A huge deadline at work, a big life event. You know it when you feel it. But what we tend to miss is the crushing weight of all the tiny, invisible choices we make, all day, every day. From hitting the snooze button to deciding which email to answer first, each one chips away at your precious mental energy. And guess what? This thing has a name. It's called decision fatigue. It's this simple but powerful idea that your ability to make good, solid choices gets worse and worse with every single decision you have to make throughout the day.
So what is actually going on up there when this fatigue starts to take over? Let's pop the hood and look at the science.
Okay, so I want you to think about the part of your brain right behind your forehead. That's your prefrontal cortex. It's the CEO, handling all the big stuff, like planning and making decisions. And you could think of it like a muscle at the gym. Every choice you make, no matter how small, is like one more rep. Eventually, that muscle just gets tired.
Now, to really get why our brains are so exhausted right now, we got to go back to this famous idea from the media guru, Marshall McLuhan. He famously said, "The medium is the message." He was basically arguing that how we get information is actually way more important than the information itself. And that brings us right to the heart of our modern problem. The internet isn't just a place to get facts. It's a medium with a very, very specific design. And that design is literally changing the way our brains are wired.
You see, as researcher Nicholas Carr has talked about, the internet is built for speed and distraction. It practically begs us to jump from link to link. It bombards us with notifications and a constant flood of new things to look at. And all of this trains our brain to work in a faster, but much, much shallower way.
So here's the really crucial part. Our brains are amazing at adapting. When we spend all day in this shallow, rapid-fire thinking mode online, we are literally rewiring our own neural pathways. This makes it harder to do deep, concentrated work and, you guessed it, causes our decision muscle to get tired out way, way faster. Okay, so how does all this theory actually play out in real life? Well, let's take a tour of what I like to call the modern choice factory.
Are you ready for this number? Researchers estimate that the average adult makes around 35,000 remotely conscious decisions every single day. Now, sure, most of those are tiny and subconscious, but they all pull from the exact same very limited tank of mental energy. And these decisions, they're hiding in plain sight. Every single app alert, every email notification, every little ping from your phone is a decision in disguise. Should I open this? Do I need to reply right now? Is this important? That infinite scroll on social media? That's just a constant, low-level decision happening over and over. Keep scrolling or stop?
Here's a great way to think about it. Every notification is like a tiny little tax on your brain power. And every time you jump from your email to a text message and then back to what you were doing, your brain has to pay a switching cost. When you do that hundreds of times a day, you end up with some serious mental burnout.
And for some people, this burden is even heavier. Parents and caregivers aren't just managing their own choices, they're constantly anticipating needs, juggling schedules, and making decisions for other people too. And research shows this invisible work, this cognitive load, often falls disproportionately on women, which just multiplies their daily decision count like crazy.
All right, so we've laid out the problem. It's a lot, I know. But the good news is you can absolutely fight back. So let's get into some real, proven strategies to take back your focus and your energy.
You can't fix a leak if you don't know where the water's coming from, right? It's the same idea here. The very first step is to just become aware of your choices. It's called a decision audit. Just pay attention for a day or two and see which decisions are really draining your battery the most.
And a super helpful way to do this is to sort them into 3 tiers. Tier 1 are the no-brainers, your habits, like brushing your teeth. They cost almost nothing. Tier 2 are those moderate, everyday choices, like what's for lunch. And Tier 3, those are the big ones, the high-stakes decisions that need your full brain power. The whole game is to minimize Tier 2 to save all your best energy for Tier 3.
Okay, strategy number 1. This is probably the most powerful tactic of all. Simply eliminate decisions before you even have to make them. You can do this by creating systems and routines that put those repetitive choices on total autopilots. And this is way easier than it sounds. For example, take 10 minutes on Sunday to plan your outfits for the whole week. Done. Eat the same healthy breakfast every single day. Boom. You can even theme your dinner nights, Taco Tuesday, Pasta Wednesday. Or, a big one, make a rule to only check your email at 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Each one of these little automations turns hundreds of choices into just one.
All right, next up, it's not just about what you decide, it's about when you decide it. So your brain's energy isn't a flat line all day. It has peaks and valleys.
So the key here is to protect your prime time. For most people, that's the morning, when your brain is fresh. Use that precious energy for your 1 or 2 biggest, most important, high-stakes decisions. Save all the easier, moderate stuff for the afternoon, when you naturally have a little less gas in the tank. Oh, and a classic for a reason. Never, ever make a big decision when you're tired or hungry.
And finally, our third strategy. This one is less of a tactic and more of a mindset shift. You have to, and this can be hard, you have to let go of needing to make the perfect choice every time.
Seriously, spending 20 minutes in the grocery store trying to find the absolute best brand of paper towels is a colossal waste of brain power for such a small payoff. This is all about embracing the good enough option. Just choose the one that works and move on with your life. Save all that optimization energy for the big decisions that actually matter.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a little challenge. Just think about your typical day. What is one small, repeating decision you could put on autopilot starting tomorrow to win back just a little bit of your mental energy?